Hello, welcome to COC STV, Children of Change, Stop the Violence. I'm Paul, 63 years old. Most consider me as an OG, and I'm passionate about creating a world free from violence, starting one community, one child at a time. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into important discussions on the day to day violence in our communities and our city. We'll speak on how we can stop the cycle of violence, stand up against injustice. I believe that change can start with us. Together, we can make a difference. Join us as we explore what needs to change and what you're fed up about. Let's spark meaningful conversation, inspire actions towards a safer, more peaceful future. At this time, allow me to introduce you to my co host, my good friend, Marcus. Please tell us a little something about yourself and how you came to COC STV.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marcus. One day, Paul came to me and explained a great idea he had in regards to spreading awareness about the violence plaguing our community and our children, as well as giving a voice for those that want to share their opinion on the many issues that they feel that need to be brought up. With such a great idea, I felt like I had to be a part of such a great endeavor. We felt like it's time for there to be a platform for those to voice their opinion on the many issues they felt like they needed to be heard.
Join us and help us stop the violence together.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Children of Change, Stop the Violence. My name is Marcus. This is Paul.
Hey there.
And today we're going to be talking about what we're fed up about today and this week. First things first. Paul,
Yes, sir.
what are you fed about for today?
Oh man, it's just every time I turn on my computer, I don't even bother watching the news anymore because it's just sickening
Mhm.
of what's taking place in our community, how violence is hitting our children now. I mean, at one time it was bad. It's worse when I should never ever have to bury their child. I am so fed up with this nonsense. When you hear my aspect of this, it's gonna blow you away. So. Thank you for joining me this morning, brother. We got some stuff to talk about, and we're going to fill people's ears today. I forgot to ask you, what are you fed up about?
Well, I'm fed up about a number of aspects of our community. As of right now, I wouldn't say I'm kind of upset. I feel like aspects about a current development in regards to protecting domestic violence survivors as well as victims. For example, recently, Florida is trying to pass a bill called the Gabby Petito Act. In this bill, it's supposed to protect a lot of domestic violence victims as well as other types of other survivors, no matter what, if it's verbal, physical, regardless. This bill is supposed to help protect them. In case anyone is unaware, the bill is named after Miss Gabby Petito. Unfortunately, she had passed due to domestic violence. It was a story that was around the country maybe last year, a couple of years ago. Police, first responders were all trying to find her as well as her boyfriend at the time. There were reports about like she was in a domestic relationship that was not necessarily the best. There were reports about like verbal altercations, physical altercations, but there was no proof. So police couldn't really follow up on it. But the family and a lot of friends were worried about Miss Gabby. While on vacation, she disappeared. The police investigated the boyfriend, interviewed. They didn't find any plausible cause to arrest. Later on, they found him in the Everglades, deceased by suicide.
Coward's way out.
Yep. Putting two and two together, they realized, oh, it was an actual domestic violence case. They dropped the ball, and unfortunately, they couldn't do the most that they could to help Miss Gabby. So this bill is supposed to put more safeguards in regards to double checking, hey, is this environment safe for those involved in this relationship? Is there plausible cause that an individual is suffering from domestic violence, or is it, least case scenario, false alarm? The bill proposes that those that have been suffering from domestic violence will have a hope card.
Wait. A hope card.
Yes.
I'm sorry I had to interrupt you, but a hope card.
Mhm.
So, hoping that they what?
I'm not too familiar with like law enforcement and politics, so I'm not sure as to why they would name it Hope Card. I just know for a fact of what the purpose is. So with the Hope Card, it's supposed to let law enforcement know, hey, I'm a victim of domestic violence, or I've been a victim of domestic violence in the past. Either I'm suffering from the effects, or I'm trying to find some support. It's just supposed to let law enforcement know, like, hey, they're about to enter a situation that could escalate, or that could be more than what they're expecting. So giving law enforcement like a head of what's going on or what they're getting themselves into. Also, second part about this bill is also enforce double checking on certain situations, certain calls with law enforcement. So if law enforcement is responding to a domestic violence call, they go on ahead and then they see evidence that, oh, something might be going down here. Or they get a testimonial saying that, oh, something might be, going on with some relationship. So law enforcement is supposed to follow up with more in-depth questions, double checking with the victims, the supposed aggressor, family members, friends, and things like that. And so that way, like, other facilities, other programs, and not just law enforcement know, like, hey, there might be evidence of domestic violence. We have proof that so-and-so is doing this and that, or the environment might be a little too suspicious. So to give other programs and other law enforcement and other departments a heads up, like, hey, there is evidence of domestic violence. We should definitely take this call or the situation more seriously. Just a little fed up about it because it's, instead of actually just giving law enforcement the hands-on tools to go ahead and really take advantage of like what they're seeing and trying to help these victims, is giving them more work to do. Which, in my opinion, like, if it's a serious situation, you're giving cops more work to do, they might miss the opportunity to solve this crime or to help, putting another step in the way of actually doing help, instead of like not double down on that whole environment and really understanding what's going on.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I have something for you. I know it's going to sound a little asinine, but being called hope, how about we hope that these officers now lock this person the hell up? Mm-hmm. Let's hope that this person goes to jail and gets extended jail time. The cop walks in and the woman's, whoever the person is, has a battered face. You got black and blues all over your face. What proof? Why do this girl now need to go, oh, look, how about, officer, I'm locking your ass up. I'm throwing away the key because your ass needs to be in jail for the next 10 years of your life because you just beat this woman senseless. And now this police officer, this is not the first time. Hence why the hope card comes about, because somewhere, somehow, someone, whether it be the victim or someone has came to this person and said, hey, well, you know something? Here's a hope card. Let's fill this out for you. How about now, since these police officers, probably the same cops, have come to this person's house several times. How about now we lock him up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How about making stricter laws that says, all right, this is your second time being locked up for domestic violence? Well, now you're doing 5 years. Mm-hmm. You're doing, your third time? How about it's a 3 strikes for like they do felons in life, bro? You beat this woman 3 times within an inch of her life? Mm-hmm. Why wait till you kill her before we charge you for murder? How about we just give you life now? Now it's on the table. So if you're a domestic, someone who's hurting another victim, it's going to make you stop and think, oh, shit. I've done this twice. Now, if I do it one more time, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life for beating somebody.
Yep.
Don't you think that would be more of a bill to be passed that would stop more people from killing?
I agree. Like, putting more stricter laws. And in my opinion, a hope card is kind of like a slap in the face, because to get a hope card, that means you had to have been a victim of domestic violence
already.
Before. You can't just get a hope card if you've never been a victim of domestic violence.
Right.
So that means there's already documentation that you're in a really risky relationship. Either you're in currently or you were. And if that's the case, depending on the situation, the cops or whoever law enforcement that's there supposed to take the necessary steps at that time. I can understand maybe if it was something minor and stuff and they give you a card, but if it's something major, like you bringing somebody to the edge of their life,
right,
there's no need for a hope card at that point. You just take this person to jail, or you take this person and you lock them up. Like, if it's, for example, if it's something like really minor, like, not minor per se, but not beating somebody to the edge of their life, like pushing them down the stairs,
right,
or verbally berating them, stuff like that, then a hope card would be applicable. But, like, they're being beaten up, broken bones, physical deformance, like, and then you give them a hope card before you can really take steps.